Most people think steak is just different names for the same thing. Wrong. Every cut of beef comes from a different part of the animal, shaped by movement, fat distribution, and how a muscle works over its lifetime. What you call premium steak is often just a difference in structure, not quality or taste superiority. Let's break it down. Hit subscribe right now, because by the time we reach number 7, you'll realize steak is not just food, it's hidden biology, physics, and chemistry working together on a single plate. Number 1. Ribeye steak. This is the flavor king because of marbling, tiny streaks of fat inside the meat. Ribeye comes from a muscle that barely moves, so fat stays trapped inside instead of being burned away. When it cooks, that fat melts and spreads through the meat like liquid butter. That's why ribeye stays juicy even if slightly overcooked. It literally bastes itself from within. Number 2. Sirloin steak. Sirloin sits in a middle zone of the cow, used more than ribeye, less than highly active muscles. That's why it feels balanced but unpredictable. 2 sirloins can look identical but behave completely differently on heat. One stays tender. The other becomes chewy if timing is off by even a small margin. Number 3. T-bone steak. This is actually 2 steaks in one, strip on one side and tenderloin on the other, separated by a bone. But here's the hidden problem. Both sides cook at different speeds. One side is always slightly ahead, which makes perfect doneness extremely difficult unless heat is controlled with precision. Number 4. Filet mignon. This is the softest cut in the entire cow because the muscle does almost no work. That's what feels like butter when cut. But here's the twist. Extreme softness comes with very little fat, meaning weaker natural beef flavor. That's why it's often paired with butter, sauces, or wrapping techniques to enhance. Number 5. New York strip steak. This is the balance cut, tender but structured. Its tight muscle fibers create a firm bite without toughness. Unlike other steaks, it rarely surprises you. It delivers a consistent texture every single time, which is exactly why chefs trust it more than trend-driven cuts. Number 6. Porterhouse steak. Think of this as a larger, more intense version of T-bone with a bigger tenderloin section. You are basically eating 2 different steaks on one plate, one firm, one soft. But because of its size imbalance, it's often shared rather than eaten alone. Number 7. Flank steak. This cut comes from heavily used abdominal muscles with long visible fibers, running in one direction. If you slice it wrong, it feels extremely tough. But if you slice against the grain, those fibers break instantly and the same meat turns noticeably tender. Same steak, completely different experience depending only on knife direction. Number 8. Skirt steak. Skirt steak is thin but extremely flavorful. Its loose structure allows marinades to penetrate deeper than most cuts, almost like it absorbs flavor instead of just holding it. But timing is critical. Overcook it slightly and it tightens instantly, locking in chew instead of softness. Number 9. Chuck eye steak. This is the hidden cousin of ribeye, coming from the shoulder area right next to it. It shares similar muscle structure but is sold at a much lower price. When cooked properly, it can surprisingly deliver a ribeye-like experience, but most people never realize it because it sits outside the premium category. Number 10. Wagyu steak. This is not normal beef. It's fat engineering at an extreme level. Wagyu cattle develop intense marbling where fat spreads through muscle like fine veins. But the real secret is the melting point. Wagyu fat melts at a lower temperature than regular beef fat, which is why it dissolves instantly in your mouth instead of needing chewing. So the next time you order steak, remember, you're not just choosing meat. You're choosing muscle history, movements, structure, and biology shaped over years inside a living animal. And most people never realize they've been eating 10 completely different experiences under one simple name.